What's up, everybody, and welcome. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. I am CJ alongside my co-host Jonathan, and we have made it to the preseason. And boy, oh boy, excuse me,
the postseason.
Already messing up from the jump. We made it to the postseason. It's been a long season, and we're finally here at the breaking point, the time where teams shut up or nut up. And I'm super, super excited for this week's action. Jonathan, how are you doing today?
Exceptionally well.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful way to start the show off. We're no longer in the preseason. We're no longer in season. It is postseason. That means we have to be at the top of our game. And so for teams have to be on top of their game this week, we're going to give our pile on picks for this weekend's action. Starting off in the AFC. Excuse me. We're going to start off in the NFC. A lot of pretty good action this week. Let me pull up the schedule. Actually, I got it right here. All right, we're going to start off with the 1 o'clock game on Saturday. Well, actually, we are going to be in the AFC. Jesus Christ. Already mistakes. You know what? You guys got me in the first half. Don't worry, but I'm gonna thrive and I'm gonna get better in the second half. But we're gonna start off with Indianapolis Colts taking on the Buffalo Bills at 105 game. Two tough football teams. Both teams have a pretty good defense, but Josh Allen has been cooking this last couple of games. Who do you got, Jonathan, and why?
We're talking about cooking the last couple of weeks. Jonathan Taylor has been cooking for the Colts. He's been on a tear, putting up almost Derrick Henry numbers for the last 4 or 5 games, I want to say. But Josh Allen has also been playing insane, as you mentioned. And he has Stephon Diggs. The Bills' defense they haven't been as good as they were the last 2 years this year, but they're still coming together. I think they're relatively healthy for the first time. Both of their starting linebackers, Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano, were beat up for most of the season. I think they both should be healthy for this game. That should help against the Colts slowing Jonathan Taylor down. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to win a playoff game. I know.
Oh,
sounds crazy to hear me say it too, but I'm not backing down.
It does sound crazy, especially if we were a couple years ago, maybe even last year. The growth of Josh Allen over the last couple years has been stupendous. It's been amazing to see him, a team that builds around him, making what people say is the trade of the offseason, getting Stephon Diggs on that team to make that offense pretty elite. But I guess my answer would be nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. And I'm going with the Buffalo Bills this week to keep it strong, but I think this will be a very tough game. I'm going to go it'll be pretty close. I would say this game will be within 10 points. In Buffalo, I think Buffalo is also supposed to have fans for this game, which I think is going to be insane because the Bills Mafia, I mean, they're loud and proud. I don't know how many fans they're going to have this week, but I think that added atmosphere is going to also drive and help out the Buffalo Bills. So I'm excited for this game.
Are we giving score predictions?
You don't have to.
All right. I didn't, but I will. I'm going to go 23-20 Bills.
Okay.
I also think it'll be a pretty close game.
All right, so going to the 4 o'clock game, we're going to be to the NFC. We have the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a divisional game. This will be their 3rd time playing this season. If I'm not mistaken, the last time these two teams played, the Rams beat up on the Seahawks. Yeah, actually, the Seahawks beat the Rams back in December 20-9. So, can the Rams bounce back? Is Jared Goff healthy? Who will be starting quarterback for this team?
Jared Goff is out.
He's out. All right, never mind. This is gonna be a quick wrap up. Jonathan, who you got in this game?
Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. I mean with Jared Goff out, unless Wolford, yeah, unless he has the game of his life. I mean, they won last week with him. They was the defense, everything surrounded him. They stepped up to to cover lack insufficient play of quarterback. But I don't know. It's playoffs. Big time Russ is going to be here. We got Tyler Lockett. You got DK Metcalf. That team's going to be electric in Seattle. I'm not sure if they're going to have fans or not. Probably not, most likely. But Seattle is going to start cooking and start going to get in their way to making this playoff Super Bowl push. I'm going Seattle by a lot. I think this will be a 35-17 game.
Yeah, I'm going to go 27-13.
Okay. Good stuff.
Seahawks.
I expect a big game from Tyler Lockett this week, so that's my bold prediction.
Yeah, I think the same because Jalen Ramsey's probably going to be on DK Metcalf to slow him down, which means Tyler Lockett time.
True. All right, going into the night game for Saturday of the Super Wild Card Weekend. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Washington. Last time these two teams played, back in 2018, the Washington football team, known as another team before, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 16-3. Will that be the same case? Most likely not. Jonathan, who do you got this week?
The Tampa Bay Bucks by a lot. Do we know who's playing quarterback for Washington on Saturday yet?
No, that's going to be close to the vest until game day, but I do have something to report about that. And after limited practicing yesterday, Alex Smith was sore today, which is not a good sign heading into Sunday. So
Taylor Heineken season.
Yeah. But at the same time, a hobbled Alex Smith versus a healthy Taylor Heineke, I will have to go Taylor Heineke 10 times out of 10, just to the fact of if you bring any type of pressure to Alex Smith, he's getting sacked. We saw that you saw that last week for sure, where literally any pressure in his face, he could barely evade it.
He shouldn't be playing. He's not, even when he was healthy this season, he was not healthy enough to avoid sacks, which means he's not healthy enough to be playing, which is nothing new for a Ron Rivera football team to be playing a quarterback who's clearly not healthy, as he ruined Cam Newton's career. But that's neither here nor there. Bucks 31-10.
I don't know. I love my team, and I'm going to keep going with them, but I think this will be a tough game. I think defense has to play out of their minds and have to get a touchdown and create turnovers. I think Washington can pull the upset 23-21.
Yeah, they definitely need a defensive score. Couple strip sacks. They need multiple turnovers.
Yeah, Chase and Montez had to make their money this game.
Yeah, the offense isn't going to be doing much for the Washington football team.
Unless the run game gets going. If the run game gets going crazy, which is tough because Tampa Bay is one of the better run defenses in the league. So if they can run the ball effectively to make it easier on Taylor Heineke or Alex Smith if he does play this week, we'll see. But interesting matchup for sure this coming weekend. One of my favorite matchups coming this weekend has to be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. Early game on Sunday, 1:05. We all know the last time these two teams played, Tennessee came into Baltimore and smacked them. Also, they actually played this year. They beat the Ravens 30-24 back in November. So definitely they got two losses.
That was a
Yes,
Derrick Henry
that was the
walk-off
overtime game, right? And that was just in the beginning when Derrick Henry kind of that end of the season get better as the season goes. He started. That was kind of when he started off. Can Derrick Henry do the same thing? 3 games in a row to Baltimore. Is Lamar Jackson that guy? And honestly, I'm gonna just say it. And you can hate me if you want. You can call me a hater or whatever. I still don't think Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback. I mean, yes, he does
Ooh.
MVP last season. Yes, that was cool. Like what he did changed the game for sure, and I'm glad because it gives a lot more quarterbacks opportunity to play in the NFL who didn't, especially more mobile guys. Um, Shout out Tyreek Jackson. Hopefully, you can still play quarterback in the NFL if you don't change the tight end or whatever. You saw that tweet I sent you?
Yeah, they're converting him to tight end.
But we'll see. I mean, he's a big guy. But I still think I don't know. It's just like the only, like, if you put a spy him all game and put constant pressure on him, I feel like you can contain it. But like, if you can shut the run game down, I don't have fear that Lamar Jackson's going to beat me with his arm. I just don't. I will put my money on it. If we can stop the run game, which is pretty much their offense, is a running attack offense. But I still don't have fear that Lamar Jackson can beat me with his arm. And I want to be a Lamar Jackson fan. Like I want him. I like the fact that he's changing the position of football, but I just still think he is that elite quarterback. I think he's good. I think he's a pain in the butt to defend, but I still don't think he's elite.
So you're going with the Titans?
Actually, my friend, I am going with the Baltimore Ravens with everything I just said. No, I'm going Tennessee. Actually, I don't know. I think I am going with the Baltimore Ravens. I think I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens just in the fact that I think with the way these last 2 matchups have panned out, I think Baltimore finally gets – I think the story will just work out with Baltimore winning. They have been a hot team as of late. In Tennessee, it just makes too much sense for Baltimore to win because also using some of your logic earlier this season, you don't trust the Tennessee Titans. You still don't know how good Ryan Tannehill is, and he's been playing pretty well. But you don't know that when that week when all the wheels will fall off for Tennessee. And I feel like this is kind of one of those weeks where you expect Tennessee to do well, but then they just have all the wheels fall off, kind of similar to when they played against Indianapolis Colts the first time this season. So, with that being said, as much as I don't believe Lamar Jackson's an elite quarterback, I still think that run game will be enough to win this game. And I think they win 17-14.
I am going to go with the Titans. I think they're the more complete team right now. I do think Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. But I think as a team, a whole, a unit, both offensively, defensively, special teams, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. But I'm with you. It's a close game. I can see it going either way. I'm going to say Titans 23, Ravens 20.
Okay. Should be a good game. I still think this will probably be the best game of the weekend. But I could be wrong.
Probably. I think it's going to be a lot of running. Obviously, the Ravens, their offense is mostly rushing. They got 3 running backs and Lamar. And then on the other side, you got Derrick Henry. So,
well, really, it's 2. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is taking over as lead back, and then Gus Edwards is right behind. I don't think Mark Ingram has played much as of late.
he hasn't really, but we'll see. If they need him, I still think Mark Ingram's a good running back. Like I still have faith in him to go in and perform well if they ask him to. So I'm going to say 3 running backs. plus Lamar. They got 4 guys who can tote the rock.
Big trust, yeah. You know what it is. All right, going into the 4:00 game on Sunday, which this game, it on paper you should say, okay, the Saints by a million. But we all know the Saints have a terrible history with these odd matchups in the playoffs. And how beautiful would it be for the Saints to continue this streak? How beautiful would it be for the Chicago Bears, who started off the season? People forget they started off this season 5-0, the worst 5-0 team in the league. People said, and somehow they found a way to only win 3 more games. But those 3 games pivotal to getting them into the playoffs. Jonathan, who do you got this week against Saints versus Bears?
It's got to be the Saints. The Bears stink. And the Bears are probably going to win because I'm saying this, but I don't think it'll be close. The Bears are a bad football team. I said it. I will not be walking it back even if they win somehow. They're bad. And I don't trust them one bit.
Okay, so last time these two teams played, Saints beat the Bears 26-23, and that was in November of last year. So still really a close game between these two teams between the last two. Oh my God, I can't talk. But I don't know if Drew Brees was playing this week. It was November 1st. I'm not sure if I think he was out this week.
Yeah, November sounds like a Teddy time.
Actually, it was this past season. It was this past
season?
Yeah, 2020.
Drew Brees did play.
Let's not forget, though, the Chicago Bears defense is pretty stout. With Khalil Mack just rushing, like that front 7 is pretty good. Yes, I mean, that's really their only strength of that team. Mitchell Trubisky has been coming on as of late as well.
Yeah, the Saints also have one of the best offensive lines in the league, though. So I think that kind of decreases the Bears' strength, which is their defensive front. Let's see.
I mean, that'll definitely be the battle to watch going into this game.
When they played last, the Bears had 1 sack by Khalil Mack. And that was it.
Not bad, not bad.
So they're going to need to get home much more often than that if they're going to win this matchup. I'm going to say New Orleans 20, Chicago 16.
I am the fan of the big guy going down. I'm a fan of the underdog. With that being said, I'm going with Chicago Bears for the upset, just because of the fact that I think it'll be completely hilarious for the Saints fans and the Who Dat Nation to go down thinking that Drew Brees was going to end his illustrious career with the Super Bowl victory. Highly doubt it. They're cursed in the playoffs, and I want to see that curse continue, just kind of like the Buffalo Bills did when they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and did not cash in one time. So I'm going with the Chicago Bears upset here, and I think they're going to beat the Saints 27-23.
All right. Very spicy take, but I'm here for it.
Yes.
The last game we have is the Cleveland Browns, who will be without their head coach, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers have anybody out? Eric Ebron's out for the Steelers.
Which, I mean, it's not a big loss.
Not really. Chris Boswell is also out there, kicker. So the kicking game will be something to monitor.
Yeah, he's been out for a while now. They had this looks like a JV looking kid for as a kicker. I thought it was quite hilarious
I have
how
not been
small
paying
he
attention
was.
at all. Matthew Wright. All right.
But I mean, the big story here, obviously, is
COVID running wild.
COVID running wild in Cleveland. Will Cleveland have enough players to compete? What would their offense look like with Kevin Stefanski not calling plays this week? Can Baker Mayfield show up in the prime time of prime time in back-to-back weeks against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will have TJ Watt and company? And my answer is hell no. Because I just think the fact that they struggled to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week with the Mason Rudolph. Maybe Mason Rudolph is better than Ben Roethlisberger. Who knows? Highly doubt it. But they barely pulled off that victory. Took everything they need to beat them in the final drive. So I think Pittsburgh Steelers gets the win. It just depends on how much they score. And I don't know if they score a lot, to be honest, because Pittsburgh Steelers hasn't been the best these last few weeks, even with Ben Roethlisberger. They're still trying to figure out how to play football. And I thought, against the who did they lose to? Surprisingly, it was
The Bengals.
The Bengals. I was like, the Bengals was a perfect team to figure out what your identity is going to be for the rest of the season, to build that momentum into the playoffs, to be peaking at the right point. They did not. They did not figure themselves out. They went the opposite direction. So with the Pittsburgh Steelers now against a division foe, which should be helpful because you do have the most tape and the most, you do the most scouting on your divisional foes, it should make them look better. But we'll see with it's going to be in Pittsburgh, too, so that should be an advantage. But I'm going Pittsburgh 35, Cleveland 12.
35? I thought you said they weren't going to score that much because you didn't trust the offense.
But Cleveland stinks.
They do, but I'm going to go Pittsburgh 24, Cleveland 13.
Cool. I mean, I'm rooting for you, Chubb. I mean, I love you. I love you, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. You guys are studs. You guys shouldn't have to go through this right now, but maybe next year with, possibly a new quarterback or something. I don't know. Something like that next year will be exciting. All right, so our last pylon pick for the season, really, or for this week. The national championship game, we got Alabama taking on Ohio State. This should be a good matchup. This will be happening on Monday. First of all, Jonathan, are you excited for the national championship?
One of Alabama or Ohio State is going to lose, so I'm very excited for that. I'm very not excited that one of them is about to win a national championship. So
at least Notre Dame's not winning. Too. You said anybody but Notre Dame early when we was talking, so that's also a plus.
Yeah, Notre Dame does not deserve to win a national championship. I didn't think they would, so I'm very happy that they're not in this game because they would just get blown out. But I can still see this game being pretty good or getting ugly, but I don't know which team is going to run away with it. Both teams have the offenses to do so, especially with Ohio State and Trey Sermon coming on the way he has the last down the stretch in the Big Ten championship game against Clemson. I think he's rushed for 500 yards in the two games combined, 6 touchdowns. He's been going crazy. Justin Fields, is he still feeling the effects of that back? I won't say that. That shot to the back.
Are you gonna say back shot?
Nah, I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh boy.
James Skalski, who announced that he's returning to Clemson for his 6th year of eligibility today. Apparently, he didn't want to go out sad by getting ejected in back-to-back playoff games. So he's running it back. But, yeah, Ohio State, they're looking fresh. I mean, this was only their 7th game of the season against Clemson. Alabama had played that by, like, December. They were on their 8th game. So they're definitely the fresher of the two teams. They got that going for them. They got less tape on out there for Alabama to see. So they got a couple advantages working for them, but Alabama is still Alabama until somebody beats them. Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner, Sean Wade, said the corner for Ohio State, said he wants that challenge, which is what he said with his words. We'll see what his play says because he was getting torched by Cornell Powell against Clemson, and Cornell Powell is not Devontae Smith. So we'll see if he gets his wish. He's probably going to hope he does not. But I'm going to go with Alabama, and I am going to go with a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 34 to 29.
Okay. Yeah, I think this will be a high-scoring game. I just think. Wait, who did you pick? Who was your pick for? What team did you pick?
Alabama.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think how Nick Saban wins his national championships like every other year, and so it's Nick Saban's time. And it's just he's a great coach. Is the greatest. Well, yeah, definitely one of the greatest college coaches of all time. Alabama has a lot of talent. That's no question. I just think it's just Alabama's destiny to win. And I think the last time, yeah, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, actually. But, yeah, I mean, I think Alabama wins. And I think I don't know. I think this could be a blowout. I think if Alabama gets to Justin Fields early and see if he's really healthy, it'll be interesting, especially if he's not as mobile as he wants to be in this game. So that's something to look out for. But I think Alabama does win big.
All right, we're in agreement there.
All right, so that's our picks for the postseason and for the national championship game. So now we're going to move on to some basketball talk. First news in the NBA, we have one of my favorite players I've been watching just because of the fact that he, a lot of people are preying on his downfall. A lot of, especially in Philadelphia, like, he didn't get the chance to be able to be the player he needs to be. I don't know what happened. But Markelle Fultz tore his ACL last night. Very sad because he was actually playing really good basketball. I believe he was averaging 16. But let me pull up his statties for you guys. I had him up yesterday. I don't know why I didn't keep him up. Let's see. We are going to, what team does he play for? He plays for the Magic.
I got you. Averaging 13, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds.
Yeah. Pretty good. I mean, he's getting the shot back. Like, he's been getting more comfortable, not just shooting the ball, but like also passing, facilitating rebounds and stuff like that. A tough player. I think, and Orlando Magic team was kind of growing slowly. Like they got a lot of young pieces. They're trying to grow together, kind of like how the team in Atlanta is doing as well. Really sad. I mean, former number one overall pick. Hopefully, who returns back even better. I just don't want to see him going over another hurdle with another injury. And now, what I mean? Like he had to deal with his shoulder, and that took him a while to kind of figure out how to shoot again. Like, imagine what hurdles he would have to do just with his knee, and maybe, driving to the hole, maybe not being explosive or not, going as hard anymore. So that would be devastating to see for the young man.
Absolutely. I wish him the best, a speedy recovery. We need to see him back out there healthy as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But his team is actually doing pretty good. They're number 2 in the Eastern Conference right now at 6-2, behind only the Philadelphia 76ers at 7-1. So a very overachieving team thus far. We'll see if they're able to keep that up with him being out for the season now. I don't anticipate they will, but stranger things have happened.
Very true. Okay, so I guess our big story that we want to talk about, or at least our big question that we want to talk about in the NBA is, are the New York Knicks the best team in New York right now?
If you go by records, yes, they are. They are currently 5-3. The Brooklyn Nets are currently 4-4. So if you're going strictly off records at this point in time, yes, the Knicks are better than the Nets. Did KD and Kyrie make a mistake in choosing the Nets? Who knows? I don't know. If you look at the young talent that was on the two teams before KD and Kyrie decided to sign with them 2 seasons ago, the Knicks' young core was Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr.
Did they have Schroeder?
No.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of Frankie. Frankie. Yeah.
Yeah.
French player.
Yes. Frank N. So there's definitely some talent there. But the Nets also had talent. I mean, you look at them. And at the time, give me 1 second. Excuse me. At the time, they still had D'Angelo Russell. They had Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, Joe Harris. Who else was on that team?
Did you say Jared Allen?
Yeah, Jarrett Allen, the center. Joe Harris. And that's pretty much it. But they were able to leverage, or they signed KD in a sign-in trade, a dual sign-in trade for D'Angelo Russell. So basically, they swapped him and then signed Kyrie. And Kyrie, with that young core last year, didn't do so hot. They made it to the bubble, right?
No, I don't think so. They may have made it to the bubble, but then Kyrie and KD didn't play.
Yeah, I feel like they made it to the bubble. They just didn't make the playoff. Like they were there for like the play-in games.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like 3 years ago now. in COVID time.
Yeah.
But so I mean, both teams had a lot of young talent, good young talent. So it's hard to say they chose the wrong team, but the Knicks have added R.J. Barrett since then. They added who did they get this year? Obi Toppin.
Yeah. Obi Toppin.
Um, yeah, Obi Toppin. So they've added some more young pieces. The Nets didn't really get any other young pieces. They went the opposite way, which makes sense. I mean, you signed KD and Kyrie. Obviously, you're all in on winning now. So they went out and got DeAndre Jordan. They signed Jeff Green, who's a vet. But if you're looking at strictly talent, the two teams have brought in since the KD and Kyrie decision to team up. The Knicks have definitely added more talent. But who's to say they would have been able to get that talent if KD and Kyrie had come? I think that the Nets just still aren't gelling yet. I mean, you saw Kyrie in Boston never really gel with the rest of that team. I don't think he really gelled with them last year. If you look at the team last year, Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert both played significantly better in games where Kyrie Irving did not play. And then KD still working his way into the team because he didn't play at all last year. So still chemistry issues with them. I think long term, they're definitely going to be the better team. But right now, the Knicks are surprising some people. They're pretty good. I just don't think they'll be able to hold up throughout the duration of the season. But yes, to answer your question, right now, the Knicks are better than the Nets.
Okay. The way I'm going to answer this is, or at least kind of to based off a point that you made. The Nets are not gelling right now, right? But gelling and Kyrie Irving has been something that's constantly always been an issue or of evolving around him, revolving around him. like literally, how did your team gets better, plays better when Kyrie is hurt and not playing in Brooklyn. When he was in Boston, the same thing happened as well. When he got hurt, that team played a lot better with a lot of the young talent that they had. And I guess Kyrie Irving is a generational talent, but when do we say it? Like, Kyrie Irving is not it. Like, he's not as good as as much injuries as he's had, as much inconsistency as he's had. When are we going to say Kyrie Irving really isn't that great of a point guard that we think he is? Because I think he's constantly been the problem. And the last couple of stops that he's had, when he wasn't with LeBron James, that team in Cleveland was not very good either. Like, there's a lot of stuff that, I don't know, that just seems to get swept under the rug with Kyrie Irving. And I just wanted, I'm not a fan, honestly. I just think he's overrated. Like, I like Kyrie Irving a lot. But the more and more I kept seeing, he's out with injury again. He's, all right, so, we're hyped for this team, especially in Boston. But then also he's not playing, and also the team plays better without him. So then it's so then is it the fact that they're not gelling with Kyrie, or is it Kyrie the problem? And I think that's the real issue. In New York, I think, for the Knicks, that team is just, it's guys who, hard-nosed coaching by Tom Thibodeau. And these guys are overperforming, especially Julius Randle, overperforming their contracts and just playing, coached well together and just playing their hearts out, because no one, they're in the perfect spot to where no one expects anything from the New York Knicks. So, of course, winning some games right now, it's looks great. we'll see how the long term goes for them. But I think they have a better opportunity to be good, better than the Brooklyn Nets because of the fact that their coaching will take them further than the Brooklyn Nets talent. And I think there's a lot of talent on that Brooklyn Nets team. Don't get me wrong. But a team who's hungry, scrappier, plays defense, who are, just energetic, and it's not just really one guy. I mean, Julius Randle has been the guy for them, but they, Austin Rivers has been coming on. Last game, he had like 14 assists or something like that, or 14 rebounds, or 14 points. I don't know, something like 4. I know I saw 14, unless I'm tripping about that. But I think that team could do more stuff, and they could sneak into the playoffs and kind of do some damage. I just think the Nets have too much expectations on them, but at the same time, I think Kyrie Irving is the problem for that team.
And
but that's just
I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I'm also not going to agree with you.
We'll see. It's an early season observation. It's something I've been wanting to say for a long time, to be honest with you. It's really interesting that no one really has said it out loud. I just think that
Celtics fans have said it.
Oh, true. I don't really follow Celtics fans, so
they said he was the problem as soon as he got out. Actually, when he was asking to get out, when he said, Celtics fans hate Kyrie Irving.
Celtics fans are just. I can't mess with Celtics fans because I can get some of their hate for certain stuff, but at the same time, it's all right, Boston fans, you guys are spoiled. Shut the fuck up.
Correct. Boston sports fans are the worst. And them and Philly fans both stink. But
in Dallas.
Well, Dallas fans don't really have anything to brag about, so.
True. But they still find a way to brag about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
But all right. Even if you do say Kyrie is the problem is they had to get Kyrie to get Kevin Durant. So let's say they do try to move on from Kyrie. Then they're just going to make KD mad, and KD is going to leave. So they have to figure out how to integrate Kyrie into that team in a way that maximizes the rest of the players, because they can't risk alienating Kyrie, because that will only alienate Kevin Durant.
I got a simple solution.
Let's hear it.
Trade Kyrie to Houston for James Harden.
I don't know if that's going to fix it, because, Kevin Durant could have signed with the Rockets and played with James Harden if that's what he wanted to do.
True.
It's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to play with Kyrie. Have his feelings changed since then? I don't know. That's something that the Nets front office is going to have to discuss with Kevin Durant. Because make no mistake, out of the two of them, Kevin Durant is the priority. He is the big fish. He is the king of New York. So they need to do whatever they need to do to keep him happy and keep him there. If that's keeping Kyrie, then they have no choice but to keep Kyrie as well. That's true. He's basically got all the power there, because when he leaves, they're going to be mostly – I don't want to say that. They have a solid young talent without KD and Kyrie, but –
they still were able to make the playoffs with D'Angelo Russell.
But he's no longer there.
Yeah.
So if KD and Kyrie were to leave, there's no guarantee. They might make the playoffs again, but they'll probably be an 8th seed, 7th seed. Probably a first-round exit. No guarantee they make it past the first round. Which, if that's your goal, is to make the playoffs, that's fine. but I think the KD and Kyrie moves tells me that the Nets are all in. They want to win a ring. That's what they were brought there for. That's what DeAndre Jordan was brought there for. They're going all in now, so they need to figure out a way to maximize that team um, without getting rid of Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll do another like a report card of this team. Like I don't know. I just think. I mean, I'd say my piece. We'll see what happens. We'll see how these two teams play. That's the storyline that we'll watch closely as this season progresses. But we're going to go back to the NFL to wrap up this show, and I think this should be really fun because this will kind of get to flex our muscles a little bit. But congratulations, Jonathan. I would like to select you to be the new general manager of the Houston Texans.
Call me Nick Casario.
Nah, I just call you Jonathan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
real quick.
All right.
So this is how we're going to set this up, right?
Okay. Yeah,
You are now the new GM of the Houston Texans.
Okay.
You have to make 3 transactions, one through the draft, one through free agents, and another one your choice. How are you going to fix this team for the immediate future? Because our owner wants to win. What are you going to do?
All right.
That's the key caveat right there. That's the key caveat.
Has Deshaun requested a trade because I'm the GM, or is that only in real life Texans world?
He has requested a trade.
Okay.
We want to keep it close to real life. So what is your first transaction that you're going to make? You're on the hot seat, buddy. You are fresh in here. You killed the interview sessions, and now your star quarterback wants a trade. So what is your first transaction that you're going to make?
Well, I got to get the biggest haul possible for Deshaun Watson because if he wants out, I mean, he could sit, he can hold out. Obviously, he'll have to play at some point, but if we're all in and we want to win, we can't afford to have him sit out up to 8 games and try to win without him because make no mistake, Deshaun Watson is the Texans currently. Without him, they are J.J. Watt and nothing.
This is true.
So I got to get the biggest haul possible for Deshaun Watson.
So you are executing this trade. You're going to attempt to execute this trade.
I am. My first call is to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the first overall pick. And I want the first overall pick. I want their other pick, which I believe is 21st overall.
Yeah.
I want, let's see. I want Juwan Taylor, their right tackle. And I want their first round pick next year. Now, the Jaguars probably have no reason to do this trade because they'll say, we can just sit at 1, get our quarterback of the future in Trevor Lawrence, who is significantly cheaper than Deshaun Watson, and keep our picks. So they'll probably keep that trade. My next call is to the New York Jets, who have the second overall pick.
I see how this is going.
Now, they also could choose their quarterback of the future with the second overall pick, but reports are that they don't want to, or some believe that they don't want to, that they want to stick it out with Sam Darnold. So they probably don't make that trade either. But there is a team that has multiple first-round picks.
Okay.
That does have a young quarterback that they have not fully committed to.
Interesting.
And that team already has the Houston Texans first round pick this year.
Are we saying
And
takesy backsies?
we are, because the next call, the third call I'm making as the GM of the Houston Texans is to the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
I want Tua.
Ooh.
I want the 4th overall pick.
Okay.
I want Xavier Howard,
Oh. Ooh.
who is asking for a new contract. So there is reason for them to trade him if they don't want to pay him, because when they paid him like 2 years ago, like he just got paid.
Okay, let me also tell you this. You guys are in the red 17 million for this cap year. And also, mind you, if you cut JJ Watt, you will be saving $17 million of a cap hit if you cut him this year.
Well, we're not cutting JJ Watt. We are trading him to the
Oh.
Pittsburgh Steelers,
Oh.
reuniting him with his brother, and we will be taking back. They don't really have any young talent.
Maybe he's going to be a free agent. I would say Bud Dupree, but that wouldn't work.
And he's coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
They'd have to tag him and trade him, and we wouldn't have the money to pay him. So we will settle for a 2nd round pick for JJ Watt.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get a trade offer with the guy who is on an expiring deal, but also with a $17 million cap hit as a veteran. So I think you either keep him or you cut him.
No, he's going to play with his brother. His brother's saying, listen, you trade for my brother or I'm leaving when my deal's up.
He just re-upped.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years down the road, but he'll leave. We're getting the Watts together. It's a good story.
All the Watts. That'd be cool.
Yeah, all 3 Watts. Think of the merch you could do with the Watt brothers.
Pittsburgh Steelers also are not in the best cap space right now.
They can rework his deal when he gets there. The point is, they probably won't give a 2nd, though. I'm going to say a 3rd round pick. That feels fair for probably the best defensive player in the league over the last decade. If healthy, because he did battle some injuries, it opens the door for Aaron Donald to take that mantle. But yes, JJ Watt in his prime, when healthy, better than Aaron Donald, in my opinion. But
wow, that's a bold statement.
I don't care. Go back and look at him like 2012, he was, let's see, 2013, 2014. He was doing insane numbers. But yeah, I'm going to get a 3rd round pick for JJ Watt. And then for Deshaun from the Dolphins, I'm getting Tua. Yeah, I'll take Tua. Pick number 4, Xavier Howard, and a 2nd round pick. So now I've got Tua. I've got the 4th overall pick. I've got a lockdown corner.
Okay.
And I have an extra 3rd round pick.
Still no 1st or 2nd this year.
No, I got the 4th overall from the Dolphins. I got my original pick back.
So you got, and you said a 2nd. Are you giving a 2nd? You don't have a 2nd to give away. So you got a 1st and a 2nd in this deal.
Yes.
And Tua.
Yes.
And
no, I changed the 2nd to a 3rd. A 3rd from the Steelers.
But you got a 1st and a 2nd from Miami, right?
First this year, second next year.
Okay. So a 2022 pick and a 2021 first round pick from Miami. Then you're
Fourth
getting
overall.
fourth overall pick, and then you're getting the third round pick from Pittsburgh for,
Correct.
and they're get rid of JJ.
Yes. Now Tua might stink. So at fourth overall, if there's a quarterback there I like,
Okay, so who's
I
your
don't know.
draft pick?
I don't know. It depends on how the quarterback come off the board. Trevor's going first. Do the Jets take a quarterback?
I'll give you an answer. Jets do not go quarterback; they go offensive line. So third pick, who you going with?
Do I have the third or the fourth pick?
You have the third pick.
Oh, that's right. Falcons have the fourth pick. I have the third pick. All right. So I can either take Justin Fields, Zach
Zach.
Wilson, Trey Lance, or I can trade down to a team who also needs a quarterback.
Maybe like Carolina Panthers.
Correct. The Panthers have pick number 8, I believe.
Not too bad of a slide down.
No, sliding down 5 picks. And I already have Tua, so I don't need a quarterback that bad this year. I want. Let's see.
Slide down, position yourself for maybe like a Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, we'll see. But I want Brian Burns.
Oh, okay.
I want Christian McCaffrey.
All right, you tripping now. All right, I was with you. So you
Hey,
want to take on that cap hit?
It costs a lot to get a quarterback now. You're right. They probably can't take Christian McCaffrey's hit. So I need somebody on a rookie deal. They don't even have any other cheap rookies. That's unfortunate. So yeah, I'm gonna take 8 Brian Burns and their first round pick next year.
Okay. So now you have a 2022 first round pick
From the Panthers,
from the Panthers.
a
Brian
2022 second round pick, from the Dolphins.
from the Dolphins. So from this, you've gotten 2 first round picks, one from this year and next year. This year or next year's second round pick, this year's third round pick, and Brian Burns, Xavier Howard, and Tua Tagovailoa. You have one more transaction, my friend, to make, and that is via free agency. What are you doing?
We are signing Dak Prescott. Boom! Quarterback of the future.
That's smart. You have Tua to start the season, and especially if Dak Prescott can't make the start of the season, push Tua, because apparently Tua needs to be pushed like Ryan Fitzpatrick did in Miami, which makes sense. So someone to push him or, to relieve him if he stinks. All right. Okay. So how are you going to pay Dak?
He's getting the minimum this year, and then we're backloading the hell out of this contract.
All right.
He's going to get $100 million in the 4th year of this deal.
You're going to cut him the 3rd year. All right, cool. Dak Prescott.
And then, yes, if Dak is ready to start the season, guess what? We trade into a 2.
All right.
I'm wheeling and dealing all season long.
So
I don't know what a trade deadline is. I'm trading into week 9, week 10, week 11.
All right. So just before we finish this show, so the Houston Texans, the McNair family has hired Jonathan to be the GM for this team. Also, who are you hiring as the coach? Let's do that too.
Let's see. Uh, that is a good question.
You got Robert Salah. You got Eric B. You
But
got
I can't go with Eric B because the Texans haven't interviewed him and don't plan on bringing him into an interview.
You got
Hence the
Marvin
Deshaun
Lewis.
Watson trade request.
Yeah. Also, I mean, they wasn't forthcoming with him trying to keep him in the loop.
Yeah, they told him they were going to take his input into the coaching and GM search, and then did the opposite of that and made hires without consulting him. And his one request was to interview Eric Bieniemy. That was the one coach he really wanted, and they decided to not even interview him.
That's a lot of disrespect.
He gets a slap in the face, which is why he requested the trade. So I can't then go back and sign Eric B.
That would be even more disrespect. You trade him and you signed the coach you wanted.
Yeah, I can't do that to him.
Also, you got Joe Brady. So, of course, from your Carolina Panthers is a coaching prospect. Robert Salah, Marvin Lewis, Urban Meyer. A couple names there. I'm trying to think of any other names who've been out. I'm trying to look up right now.
Josh McDaniels.
Dabble. Brian Dabble for the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. Jim Caldwell. I mean, Adam Gase.
Definitely.
If you're trying to continue to get more picks.
No, we already tanked. We got Dak. We straight on that front. I would probably go with Salah.
Jason Garrett?
Definitely not. He stinks. I'd probably go Robert Salah as my first choice, but Dabble's up there too.
What about Raheem Morris? Raheem Morris interviewed for the Jacksonville Jaguars job.
Raheem Morris is intriguing, but I think for this coaching cycle, Robert Salah and Brian Dabble are the two
favorites.
Yeah, they're the two golden geese of this coaching cycle. So those are going to be my two options. If I can't get one of them, then I'll look into Raheem Morris or Joe Brady. But it feels really early for Joe Brady to be a head coach.
I mean, I get that his offense was able to utilize talent really well, but he literally just entered the league. If you would that's why if he were to, who knows, he could be a good head coach, but he's starting.
I'm not saying he can't be a good head coach. I'm just saying 4 years ago he was a graduate assistant at William and Mary. So to go from graduate assistant at William and Mary to an NFL head coach in 4 years is crazy. And I'm not saying that he can't be successful in that. I'm just saying that I don't want to be the one to take that risk if I can have Robert Salah or Brian Dabble instead.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to go hit that young, you would have to get like a Jason Garrett, or like not even like a Jason Garrett, but like an older, like more experienced guy with head coaching experience, like maybe like a Wade Phillips on your team.
Definitely. If I go Joe Brady as head coach, he's got to bring in Wade Phillips as his defensive coordinator. He needs somebody who's been around the league, knows the ropes. and can show them to him. Um, yeah, offensive coordinator. I don't know. Uh, maybe Mike LaFleur, Matt
For
LaFleur's
Tennessee?
brother.
Oh,
No, he's on the 49ers staff right now.
okay.
I believe he's a quarterback coach, or let me see. I know he's an offensive assistant. I'm not sure what his
How old
position
is he?
is. He's young, 34.
Okay.
He is the passing game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers right now.
And he stinks. Their passing offense stinks.
Well, they have Jimmy Garoppolo, so I'm gonna give him a pass on that.
Nick Mullins, CJ Pathea.
He made them look good at points.
Very true. All right, so to wrap up this episode and to see what Jonathan is like as a GM, we'll keep doing more of this. Next time, I'll be the focal GM of, let's say, what team should we go next? Pick my team.
Um, we'll say, how about Washington? They
Oh,
haven't
they
hired a
are looking for a
GM yet.
GM? Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Okay,
Uh,
next week.
yeah. What were the other teams we said on Tuesday that need GMs? Well,
Denver, uh, Denver, Jacksonville, Houston,
Carolina.
Carolina, New York. We didn't say New York though, but New York needs a GM.
Which New York?
Giants.
They fired
Nope.
Gettleman?
Yeah, he's not a GM. Or actually, I lied. Gettleman is actually he's taking back over as GM. But they let Reese go, and then
Oh, Reese has
Gettleman.
been gone.
I saw a story where he was like I thought he lost or he was like a higher up, but now he's like reassuming the position of GM or something like that in New York. I'm not sure.
Nah, he interviewed with the Panthers for their GM.
Who? Gettleman?
No, Jerry Reese.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, he hasn't been with the Giants since 2017.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm behind them.
All right,
Cool.
we'll do Denver next week, and then after that, we can each do Carolina and Washington.
Okay, so I'll do Denver then.
You'll
Okay.
do Denver, then I'll do Carolina, then you can do Washington,
All right, perfect.
and then we'll both do the Jags, I guess, because that's
That's
the
easy
last
work.
team.
Chargers still got Nick. I feel like it's a team that we're missing. We did Houston, Jags, Carolina, Washington, Denver, Atlanta.
We did forget about Atlanta.
That's a good job.
Is it though?
I think
It's
so.
not bad.
Not bad. I think it's a good job. All right. So to recap,
oh, we forgot about Detroit.
Oh yeah, it's easy to forget about
Very
Detroit.
easy to forget about Detroit. Yeah.
Do you want Atlanta or do you want Detroit?
I can't do Atlanta because as a Panthers fan,
True.
I'm gonna have to ruin Atlanta. So I'll give you Atlanta, so they don't get cheated in this exercise. I'll take Detroit. Let's see. You got Washington.
We still. The Chargers don't need a GM, right? They just need a head coach.
Let's see. Yeah.
We can still play GM for that team because they are looking for a head coach because that's a part of the GM responsibilities.
True.
We'll do that one together because we're both fans. We're a pro Herbert show.
Yes, we are.
All right, so
we got a couple lined up.
Perfect.
If we got this many, you just want to go ahead and do Denver tonight?
We'll do it Tuesday.
Okay. All right. That works for me.
Yeah. We'll do Tuesday. We'll do Tuesday and Thursday. So both days. So we'll get to you next week.
All right.
And then pretty much after that, depending on how crazy the playoffs is, because there's going to be less playoff games after that. So we'll probably be able to do more in like 2 weeks. We'll probably finish them up. Probably by then, this should be already have a GM and head coach to see what will we do instead. But I like that. I like this.
All right. Before we move on for this, do any of my trades seem that unrealistic?
Yes, all of them.
All right.
like, okay. This is the thing. I did like the Tua trade. Like, all right, for the Dolphins trade. Let's wrap it up. So, I like the Tua for Deshaun trade and the first. Like, I like those picks. I don't think you're going to get Xavier Howard. That is a stretch. That is the stretch. I think you can. There's a possibility that most realistically, you can get Tua, the 21st pick, and a second round pick for this year, and possibly So I think you can get the 21st pick, a second round pick, and Tua for Deshaun, and possibly like a 6th round pick. I think that is a more realistic trade. I don't think you're going to get Xavier Howard unless you're going to just give it all. Xavier Howard for JJ, which, I mean, they need a pass rusher. They're going to lose an elite corner, but they are pretty decent at that position. That could possibly work. That's a little bit more of a less than a stretch because they definitely need a pass rusher and someone to be a leader for that defense. So I can see that happening. But definitely a Tua for Deshaun trade I can see.
All right. So no Xavier Howard then. Strike him from the record.
All right. So what the trade that you made was a Tua for Deshaun and a first round pick in the 4th overall pick for 2021, a first round for 2022, and a second for 2022. And
does that seem unrealistic still?
No.
Okay.
I think that's because, I mean, you got to give up a lot. And I mean, you might be able to haggle that second round pick because of Tua, because Tua is a first round pick. You know what I mean? Like, you might be able to do a first and a second and Tua. Like, Tua will be equivalent for that second first round pick, depending on where you value him at. But that's
I would just give up the second first round pick or the second round pick next year, and I would just do 2 firsts and Tua. Because Deshaun is worth at least 3 firsts.
Oh, easily.
So we're going to call Tua a first. I mean, given the way he's played, I think you could argue his value has fallen a little bit from that.
But it hasn't fallen too much. It's not like a Josh Rosen stock or a Haskins stock. It's still like a Drew Lock, but better.
But Drew Lock was a second round pick.
That's true. He was a second round pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could probably finagle 2 firsts, a second round pick, and Tua.
Possibly.
I think that's reasonable.
Unless Tua is that second round pick, 2 firsts, and he's the second.
I think I could get a second round pick and Tua.
All right. So that's the first trade. Then you made a trade to
the
Dolphins. You made a trade to Panthers too, or was that we scrapped that? Because you said we scrapped it because you started going crazy. Brian Burns and Christian McCaffrey. So we're gonna scrap that. Your second transaction, or we're still your trade.
Second one was the trade to the Steelers.
JJ Watt. Yeah, JJ Watt for a 3rd round pick.
Is that unrealistic?
No. Oh, his cap hit is what's really the biggest thing. Like, honestly, you might not get much trade value, especially if you could cut him, save $17 million on the cap, and and then someone's just going to sign him for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be tough to persuade that unless you get back something from the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they also got a lot of pass rushers as well that you have to substitute that contract. Maybe like a Cameron Hayward, he just got signed. I don't know who's the other end of that team.
T.J. Watt.
It's T.J. and someone else.
Bud Dupree, who's a free agent.
Yeah.
So basically, they're going to let Bud Dupree walk if they do this trade.
True. Unless you get a sign and trade for Bud and JJ.
All right. So JJ got 1 year left on his contract. So if the Steelers were to trade for him, they can just sign him to an extension that would decrease his cap hit this year.
True. Unless you agree to eat some of his cap hit, also, that's also another way you can work around it.
I don't think I can because I'm already over the cap, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it's – I guess the red is over the cap on here or if it's just cap space. I'm not sure. But – oh, wait, that's Pittsburgh. Hold on. According to over the cap in 2021, you guys have $17.8 million either cap space or against the cap. So it's a lot. I mean, you literally could just kind of, if it's if excuse me, if you're under the cap at 17.8, then that will really kind of put you close. That will really put you right there to kind of even out and freeing up space as well to kind of really start restructuring this team. Because honestly, you don't want your first day to come in and J.J. Watt, you make a decision and J.J. Watt comes in here and slaps you in the mouth like he did Billy O'Brien. You don't want that happening. So that's something. But all right, let's go for that. So your second transaction is J.J. Watt for a third round to Pittsburgh. We'll just say that's what happened. And then in free agency, you signed Dak Prescott to a backloaded contract, $100 million in the fourth year.
Heavy backloaded.
Heavy backloaded. He decides to do it for some ungodly reason.
Megan Thee Stallion backloaded.
And so you have Tua and Dak Prescott as your starting quarterbacks, which brings excitement to Houston, which sells tickets because we open back up next season. And also you have your head coach, Robert Saleh, leading this team with your offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur. Who's your D coordinator? Oh, I guess Salah will run the defense. So, yeah. Probably be like a linebacker coach just on the staff.
Yeah. So I'll probably bring somebody over from San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying.
Linebacker coach.
But I think he might. I heard that if he gets a job, he's in line to get the D coordinator position at in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan was talking about that.
We'll pay him more.
All right. Not bad. I mean, it's definitely a big splash. It's a tough task, year one to make for this position. But I mean, you will definitely get the fans excited. Losing JJ and losing Deshaun Watson, two of the faces of this team, but to flip it over with Dak Prescott and Tua does create some excitement. If we were to expand this, of course, you would figure out what weapons you would try to sign to help this offense. But this is interesting. Next week, I will take over as GM for the Denver Broncos. John Elway will hand me that job, and I will give you my. I guess we did three transactions plus your coaching hire. Well, actually, for Denver, I don't have a coach to hire or fire.
Yeah, you can fire if you want. I'm not going to stop you.
So we'll see what I do on Tuesday. Check out that episode. It's gonna be fun. And let us know if you like this. Like, do you like this GM mode? Like, was this fun to watch? Was this cool? Let us know, and we'll keep doing more of this, especially towards the off season and more of our draft coverage. Make sure to go check out on our Twitter, hate to pile hate the number 2 pylon. See our mock Mondays. We both do mock drafts. I've done one with Washington twice. He's done 2 of Panthers, but he also did a full mock draft. We'll do full mock drafts, draft boards, and so much more draft coverage, GM stuff. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on Mondays, we'll do that. But tomorrow, first edition of Franchise Fridays, we'll be playing franchise mode on Madden. I'll be breaking that bad boy open tomorrow. I don't know. I guess I can start. I'll go first. You go first, or you go first? I don't even know. We'll probably both play sometime tomorrow, and we'll stream. We're going to be doing pretty much we're doing what we're talking about, but with the simulated team. We're going to pick the teams randomly, and we'll go from there. We'll probably do a couple different franchises. Honestly, we'll just do we might do 2 each, but we'll start off with one for a couple weeks and then switch to another team just to kind of see what we're going to do. And yeah, follow along. There's so much content. We pretty much are going to be streaming every day during the weekday. But we do this for you guys, some awesome content for you guys, because we love football. We love football. We love basketball. We just love sports in general. So follow us and enjoy some fun. So, but that's all we got for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this awesome postseason Super Wild Card weekend. And we'll catch you on Tuesday. Peace out, everybody.
See ya.
Ooh.